Welcome. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andres A2PR Pajama, and here we are with. Say your name.
Erik Wright. I make funny internet videos for a living. And that's pretty much it.
Yep. So, for starters, this interview we are going to ask about Erick and a quick some questions, personal questions. So, be free to say no or yes if you want. You can answer it. All right. Let's start.
Sounds good.
We have the people want to know first your name, MMR, and where you live, and your favorite hero.
Alright, well, I'll start off with I'm Erik Wright, or EDJE. I'm Erik Wright on YouTube, and that's where most of you will see my stuff, if any of you are my fans or have seen my stuff. EDJE and Dota. What was the second question?
Your MMR.
My MMR is high? Tie. That's all you need to know for now.
Don't worry.
And my favorite hero is Huskar. I don't know though. Am I allowed to say that? Should I say what people want me to say? Because I can't imagine people would like me to say Huskar.
No, it's your.
It's my dirty secret. Yeah. Don't tell anyone. But Huskar is my favorite.
Well, wait. Before the nerf or still the same?
I mean, imagine you're like an 80-year-old man and you've had a wife for like 60 of those 80 years, right? And she's now 80 years old too, and she doesn't look beautiful, but I mean she's still your wife. You've known her for 60 years. I mean, if she was to, disappear and you had the chance, you wouldn't go for someone who looked like her. You'd go for someone, younger, more spry, more attractive. And that's sort of what I am with Huskar. If Huskar was to disappear, I'd find a new favorite hero, maybe. But currently, I'm connected with Huskar.
Alright. No worries. I don't play anymore, actually. I was one of my favorite heroes before, but I don't know. The nerfs. Alright. Next question. So, tell me, when do you start to make funny videos for Dota?
Okay, I would have started many, many years ago when I think immediately after Dota went into an open beta, I started making source filmmaking videos for it. Before that, I was making just random actual Dota videos, just gameplay, plays, just compilations of plays and stuff. Before that, I was doing Minecraft videos, and I was hating every waking moment of my life. but the money was good. And then when Dota came around, I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm liking Dota more. It was very much not as popular as Minecraft. I mean, nothing is as popular as Minecraft.
Yep.
But I decided, you know what? I'm gonna like my job. So I transitioned into Dota stuff. Yeah, that was 2012.
Dota 1 or Dota 2?
Dota 2. When Dota 2 first came out, I never played Dota 1.
Oh,
I got into a closed beta, the closed beta for Dota 2, and basically just on a friend's recommendation that, hey, it's a Valve game. You like Valve, right? And I was like, yes, yes, I do. I like Valve.
All right. So at the same time you start playing Dota, you start doing videos, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. The first video I ever did with a Dota character was a video called Astral Imprisonment, and it was where, all poorly animated, by the way, which is because obviously this is the first source filmmaker video I released publicly. It was Lich and OD imprisons Lich, and then Lich is like, whoa, where am I? Because it's in the Astral Imprisonment, right? And he's for some reason in a TF2 map, and he comes across the Heavy from Team Fortress 2, and Lich says, Putus, and then the Heavy says Putus, and then it's like, oh my god, they're best friends because they both have this funny line, and then the world implodes and Lich falls out of the Ashen imprisonment, and the Heavy's like, no, my friend, my friend, and it's very sad. I like to think of it as an analogy on the human condition, but people, I don't know, people just don't understand the avant-garde qualities of my funny internet videos yet.
Too deep for the people, for normal viewers, right?
Oh yeah, man. See, my memes need to be experienced by scholars, is what was pretty much what I'm saying.
All right. So, before Dota, you mentioned that you play with Minecraft and stuff. So just Minecraft or any other genre?
Genre of I played Minecraft for a bit, that just because everyone did, but I've always been like a Valve guy. I played Half-Life, all of every single Valve game, and I think before Dota it was Team Fortress 2. I clocked in at the peak of like all of the time that I spent in Team Fortress 2, 500 hours, and I was like, whoa, wow, 500 hours in one game? I must be insanely addicted. 500 hours of Team Fortress 2 then turned into, I think currently I have 8,000 hours in Dota, wow, which is literal months, like non-stop months.
Playing.
And I was a naive young lad thinking 500 hours in one game was like crazy.
Don't worry, there are worse people than you. There are worse. All right. So tell me. So how the creative work start? You just come up with idea in your head, or there's a process you have to do, a ritual or something?
I don't know, most of my video ideas are plagiarized from funnier people, and I just pretend. No, most of my videos come from, I don't know, just divine, well, I don't know where my ideas come from. They just sort of end up in my head, and I just sort of, have to comprehend why they're there and how they got there, and I just make the videos after that. I really struggle with coming up with ideas when I have to come up with ideas. Like, I struggle to make this an actual job where I can release a video every week or so, just because I can sit there trying to will an idea into existence by just thinking about like a funny concept, and I can go weeks without anything, and then all of a sudden I'll be like a month away from Dota. I haven't been playing, I haven't been thinking about Dota, and then I'll be walking home from like the supermarket or something, and an idea will pop in my head. Currently there's a video idea that I'm doing right now called The 9 People You'll Find in Dota, that came from nowhere. I don't know where it came from.
So the mind of an artist, okay.
Yeah.
So
I have this problem where there's I'm not good with the English. My vocabulary is limited and all that. But there's this word that I heard once that pretty much sums me up, where it's like, I can watch a funny movie, right, and be like, that's a funny joke, ha ha ha, and then like 10 years later, I'll come up with a funny joke, being like, wow, this is extremely funny for me. This is concerning how funny it is, and then I'll watch the movie again and be like, oh right, it's a funny joke because it was from that 10 years ago. It's just in my head I remember the joke, but I don't remember the fact that it isn't my joke. And a lot of my video ideas, I have to be like, is this mine? Did I come up with this? Am I just plagiarizing someone else? I had a problem really recently where I wrote a joke, and I was like, this joke's, I feel like I've read this joke somewhere, and turns out I had. It was from my own video a very, very long time ago, because I've been making videos for that long, I guess, where I can be like, man, this is a funny joke, and it's because it's in a video that I did, and obviously because I'm writing the videos, all the jokes are gonna be like funny to me. So yeah.
You struggle to make the jokes on the script for your videos, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I do.
All right, don't worry. Now talking about more in particular in your problems. What can you tell me? How the ideas for the videos, and especially the all random videos, and the only way to play Dota. How do you come up with that ideas?
All random is, well, I just sit at the patch notes, and usually the joke, most of the jokes just spring forward. I just sit there and go through all the heroes, and I start just writing jokes, and then I sit on those jokes for a day, and I come back to the list, and I just cull all the non-funny ones, or the ones that don't really make sense in like an all random concept, because like all random is animated skits and segments for a short YouTube video, whereas some of the jokes that I come up with, they're like really good in writing, or like really good in maybe a comic form, but I don't do that, so I just cull them. The only way to play, they come from just me being stupid, and me being like, you know what, treads on Wraith King, that, I mean, why would you go treads on Wraith King? And then it just sort of springs up from that. A lot of the time I can look like random a hero and be like, I haven't played this hero in a really long time, and I'll have like a saved build from way back then, and I'll be like, none of this makes sense anymore. I'm just going to rewrite the entire guide just for things that make sense in my head, because like I've been playing Dota for a while. I feel like I'd know, like, you go phase if you've already got attack speed items, or if you need to be like move or something. You'd go radiance if you survive for a really long time, like Wraith King. Wraith King survives a really long time, and that was one of my guides. I'm not saying it was like a unique or original guide. It just, I happen to also come up with the same idea that some other people did. Wraith King survives a bunch and is easily kited, so why not just give him a radiance, and instead of being kited, he could just do damage all the time. And yeah, it's pretty good. The Medusa with Mask of Madness was just after I read, I think on just like a discussion forum, like, hey, this is how Mask of Madness is calculated. Mask of Madness is calculated after Mana Shield, therefore it does less damage when you pick it up on Medusa, and then the whole build just sort of sprang around that. I feel like, and I'm rambling here, so I hope you're okay with that, but I feel like there are builds that are in the game that just stay, and the average person's like, this makes sense because other people go it, and pro players go, this makes sense because other pro players go it, and these pro players, the few pro players that come up with unique builds and are actual like ambassadors for these crazy builds, I mean, they think about these things for a really long time and then just make them, and then other people just sort of put little variants on them, but they never change. So if you can come into Dota with like a fresh mindset and be like, you know what, Ice Frog didn't make this hero thinking he was going to be a carry. Like, when he created these heroes and made these 4 abilities, it wasn't because he was trying to make a carry or a support. He was just trying to make a fun hero. And people labeling like an Oracle as a support or like a Sven as a carry. Just random examples. I'm not going crazy, and I'm not going to suggest like support Sven or anything like that, but just bear with me.
Yeah.
Like, these things were just established as like, oh, well, I guess this is what he must be for. We're going to do that. And I like to just come in and be like, you know what? I wonder, this guy's got a really good stun, but he runs out of mana a bunch. What if we don't get carry items? What if we get Yules? What if we get something to make him more of like utility or like support or something? That sort of thing.
So you start turtle crafting with the lot of berries that the game proposed, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So, in the same note that we talk about it, well, do you expect how the popularity in your builds right now? The most recent about in this builds is the Medusa. You make a tweet with the pick rate increasing after you make your video.
I did.
Your power was amazing, but I don't know if you noticed with the Wraith King one. After the new patch, Wraith King with Radiance went up so much, and even so, Eternal and took and started to build that, making some more like a common build after that.
Ooh, I should be a pro player. I should do that. That's what you're saying, right? I should. You know what? Why just cut out the middleman. Let's form a team, right? I'll find 4 other people who go stupid builds, and we'll form a team. We'll be in TI10. That's a few years away. I reckon TI10. I could do that.
So, do you expect it, or it was just random thing that you think?
Wait, what did you say? Sorry.
So, do you expect this kind of new?
No, I'm always confused when people like my videos, because like the comedy and the humor and the writing and that just pretty like I write videos for me, and I'm like, this is funny to me, which means it's not going to be funny to like the majority of people. And for, like somehow I just managed to find these people who are like as insane as me. You know what though? You've got me thinking. This is good. I mean, we didn't get into this interview trying to convince me to start a pro team, I don't think. But I reckon I think I could do that. I could me and 4 other people, and like what we lack in like teamwork and all that, we can make up for in the surprise factor, right? Because it's like, what the hell? This guy's picked the Templar Assassin position 5. What? This is crazy. How do we counter this? Oh man, we got all these counters for like a TA, but turns out he's playing support. The actual carry is the Crystal Maiden. That's where we're gonna win, because they'll be picking like Venomancer to counter TA. It's like but then when we go position 5 TA, we don't get refraction because we don't need damage, and you know. Yeah, I think we're onto something right here, right now.
Whatever you like, man. If you think you can do it, do it. I once have one in particular talk with someone else, and he was terrified with that idea, and now he's a pro player. You want to know why? Who?
Why? What? Who's this? Is it Siractionslacks?
Yep.
He's a pro player, technically.
Yeah, actually it is.
Yeah. Whoa.
I did an interview.
I've known Siractionslacks since before all of you guys were born. No, I've known him for like a few years now. Never responds to anyone. If you think like this, Siractionslacks, he's not responding to me, he must hate you. Don't even worry. I feel like I know him pretty well. I know a bunch of people who like would consider him a friend. Never responds to them. So don't be like, oh man, this guy must really hate me. It's just he's
too shy.
No, he just never gets around to. He's got a lot on his plate. You know, he's
not in Sweden. Yeah, I mean, it has to be work and something, right?
Yeah. You better be keeping that in the interview. We're calling him out right here, right now. It's okay. You don't need to keep that in the interview.
Oh, don't worry. I was saying in a copy. So, talking about Sweden and Dreamleague. Now you will start working with them. Yeah, with season 5, and if I recall correctly, with season 4 too. Can you talk about it?
Okay, so a very, very long time ago, when I was but a young lad, right? The internet wasn't around. No, okay. This was 2014, I believe. Late 2014, maybe early 2015. Dreamleague was on Reddit just talking about something, and I, being the stupid person I was back then and still am, I left a reply in the thread being like, hey, I make funny incident videos, and why have you never hired me for your events? And then a person, like an actual official person, messages me it like private messages me and is like, you know what? We haven't. How's about you make some videos for us for this season? And I'm like, that worked. I just complained on the internet and I got my way. So I make a few videos. Okay, so I make a few videos, just like random videos. Like 2 of them are Dreamleague related and just like recaps. They're like all random, but Dreamleague centric.
Right. All right.
Yeah, the Dreamleague recaps pretty much. I also make 2 other videos that are in no way related to Dreamleague. They're just like shorts that I came up with. One of them is Grill Gamer, which is just like a satirical look on like the concept of a gamer girl in Dota, right? And it's like making fun of every side of the argument, making fun of girls, making fun of people making fun of girls.
Oh yeah,
in the Dota scene.
Somewhere.
I made that video. Then and that didn't go up on Dreamleague because Dreamleague goes up on Twitch, and in the video, I trash Twitch. I make fun of Twitch, and I also make fun of like it's a controversial video, and I'm like in my naivety, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure Dreamleague will love to put up this controversial video right up on their stream that everyone's gonna be watching, and they didn't, obviously, because they're not crazy. And then I made another video that was like a parody of like the Wolf of Wall Street. It was like the Beastmaster.
Oh yeah.
And because it was like a pro at the Dota betting scene rather than like Wall Street, and I had like a parody of the scene in Wolf of Wall Street where his wife opens his legs and is like showing that she's got no underwear on, and I do that in Dota. I animate that, and I animate that doing mocap, which isn't like hand animating anything. Mocap is literally means motion capture, which means I sat there in my studio and opened my legs and did the it was very, very awkward. I still have the footage of that and I don't know what to do with it. But yet again, Dreamleague was like, Eric, we can't put up these videos. Like the joke was like she opens her leg and like instead of like, you know, her bits being there, it was like a the $27,000 rare courier that and it's like, oh, that's, oh. And that was like his kryptonite. That was Beastmaster's kryptonite, you know. And it was funny. It was funny in my mind. So I made these videos, and it's like a lukewarm response. Well, some of them were considered like really good, and people were like, "Man, this guy's cool. Let's have him back." And then Dreamleague actually contacts me, and they're like, "Hey, we like the cut of your jib. How's about you just make like all of the backgrounds and all that? We're gonna get you to source film, make it like animate these backgrounds for us." And I do, and I've been doing that for the last 2 seasons now. It's good fun. Yeah.
All right. What about you? Just all right. You pass all the time though seeing Dreamleague now. I imagine with all the recap you have to do, or they record all of it and you see it after it, or you see it live.
I like to see it live. I usually see it live because I can. This is a rare thing that not many people can do for their job. I can harness the power of Twitch chats. If I'm only half paying attention because I've got like 2 monitors and maybe I'm writing something on the other monitor, if I see Twitch chat explode, I can mark it down like the time code and be like, something amazingly funny must have just happened then. I'll come back to that when they upload the VODs. But usually I watch all of it live, and I'm just constantly taking notes and all that, which is cool. I mean, in like a really warped way, I'm getting paid to watch these streams, so that's neat, I guess.
All right. No.
I'm also the worst moderator, by the way. I'm the moderator on the Dreamleague chat just because I was like, I told them, I'm here all the time. I have to be here watching. Why don't you just make me a mod? And they did for some bizarre reason. Never banned people. I'm just the worst mod. I just use my power for evil, really, because now I've got like a little sword icon, so people like will see my name more. So I just spam.
Well, that's the way I contact you. So that was a good.
That is a good point. Yeah, you noticed me copy pasting some stale copy pastas, and you were like, "This guy, I know this guy."
All right. So let's move on to another things. So what? So what do you use for your animations? Software Maker, Premiere. What kind of stuff do you use?
So the general workflow is I write it up. I like note down just like what I need to animate in like mocap, and then I go into the living room, which is basically like a studio. Nobody uses the living room that I'm in, so I've just sort of taken it. I have a bunch of Xbox Kinects and PlayStation Eye cameras all around the room. I have a program called Episoft, which is it's like a home style mocap system, right? I use these Kinects, these like Wii motes, and I use PSIs to do the mocap without the need of a mocap suit. I animate these by just doing the actions. I then like render them in like another Episoft program. I put them into Source Filmmaker and I animate them there. I render them all out in like a PNG sequence, and I put them into Sony Vegas. I probably should upgrade to like maybe something a bit more robust, but I've used Sony Vegas for ages. I just sort of know how to use it, and then maybe like After Effects for like certain things that I need like a more precision on.
Depending on the video, how much time do you make or how it's spent on that video? Depending on the time.
All randoms take a very, very long time. The all random TI5 came out about 3 or 4 months after TI5 finished, and at that point it sort of wasn't really relevant anymore. I finished it because I was like, I've already made so much progress. But that took a while. The only way to play takes the most time if you really consider like the whole picture, because I have to play the games to come up with the builds. I have to lose a bunch of games to know what not to do, and I have to. It's just the worst.
Yeah, try crafting, seeing if it works, see if it doesn't work, that kind of stuff.
Like going into a hero with like just a vague concept and being like, okay, there's something here that you have to find. When you go through the first 10, maybe 20 games, not knowing what you're trying to do, but like knowing that you're getting close to figuring it out, most of those games are just losses because you are dead weight to a team, right? Well, I'm dead weight to a team because I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing with this hero. Why do I have a Hanamitis? Things like that.
You will rank it or just rank it games?
I do unranked, mostly with friends who are forgiving, friends who are okay. Like I sit them down in the Discord channel or the Skype call and be like, guys, we're gonna lose. We're just gonna have to lose with style, and then we load in and play, and it's good fun. But the only way to play takes a really long time. All random takes a really long time, and just as a general rule, the more characters in a scene or short, the more basically just double the time. Let's say I have a shot. Like I make a movie that's just a minute long and it's just one shot and it's one character doing one thing, right? That's 60 seconds of animating, right? Because it's 60 seconds long. If I have 2 characters doing that, all of a sudden that's 120 seconds of animating. So you can imagine how it would ramp up really fast.
Yeah, you have to do the animation for that, for one
Yeah.
person and another and another. Oh, that must be hard with the. Oh shit! All right, not going to make videos anymore. So, taking apart all the video content and the things you do normally, do you have any experience in any other area as a player, as a caster, as a host in the Dota
I've been
world?
told. I've been told I've got a really good voice for casting. I don't hear it. I've never tried casting or anything other than one tournament with a guy named Rust, who is funny as hell. But I wouldn't really consider it an actual tournament. It was a tournament where instead of teams, they were bots. It was a 5v5 bot tournament. We casted that. It was good fun. I rambled on a bunch as the co-caster. I was supposed to be the analyst, and I just kept talking, as I'm sure everyone watching this and experiencing this can understand. I talk a bunch. I haven't really tried casting or anything. I've wanted to try being a pro player, but I don't really have the drive to make. I mean, Dota right now currently is still a game. It's still ever so slightly a game to me. Sometimes I play it when I don't want to play it. A lot of the time I play it when I don't want to play it, just because I'm like, I have to play it so I can have more ideas for videos. But like, if I was to become a pro player, I feel like the aspects of fun immediately just disappears, because I'd have to grind heroes that I know are good but I don't necessarily like constantly, just so I can have the edge, no pun intended, on my opponents,
Yeah, I understand the hunger that you need to be a pro player.
No, yeah. But yeah, other than just what I do right now, I don't really do anything else in the scene. I spark controversy. That's another one that I do, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, don't worry. So now let's take apart Dota. Do you do anything about apart that with animation or like, I don't know, college or work in other area right now?
I never went to college. I never went to any university. I dropped out of high school. Why am I even telling you this? Okay, here's a funny story. Funny story. Everybody gather around. So, I was on my last year of high school, and I'd just been introduced to Dota. I was like, oh, this is a fun game to play on the weekends and all that. And then all of a sudden, I found myself playing it all the time, and I was like, you know what? I don't really need to finish high school, so I didn't. I just quit. I quit high school. I mean, I'm simplifying it. There were major, like, actual reasons that, justify leaving high school. But in the end, if you simplify it down enough, I just played Dota instead of going to school. So I never went to high school. I never had any ambitions of going to university or like any colleges or anything. I always wanted to make videos as a young lad. I got like a really awful quality camera that did like 240p, I think, and I used to just make short films with my friends, and this has developed into me making shorts for a lot of my friends now, and hopefully that'll keep going to I don't know. I feel like I can sort of just like, I'm making a movie. I'm making a movie that's animated in source filmmaker that is mostly about Dota, which will be hopefully big, like gargantuan in scope. I'm going to be finishing that. It's before I die. At some point before I die. How's about that? That's a good release date. And then after that, I'm going to immediately go into like a web series about Dota and I want to diversify and do all these like grand things because I have the crumbs or like the seed of an actual community that's sitting here that enjoys my content and enjoys me as like a content creator, and I hope that something sprouts from that. If you don't mind my
No. You went too deep, man.
my gardening.
Yeah,
Sure.
don't worry. You went too deep. I think I took a spot on you. Right? A sweet spot.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But yeah, I think that's what I want to do. And like when the movie comes out and like I reveal like the web series after, you can be like, I remember him like 50 years ago. He said it in this interview right here, and this is like the first time. Like, okay, this is the first interview, the actual like interview thing that I've had. But these ideas have been in my head for a really long time. It's just like I'm not a very expressive person in the sense of like posting things on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. So all these ideas that I just keep to myself. The movie idea that I've had has been with me since, I think, as soon as the idea of making something in Dota came about. I wrote a script, a full movie script. It was awful, and I've like over the years I keep coming back to it and changing it, cutting out the bad parts and refining it and all that. And the web series actually I think came about maybe 10 years ago. So I'm 20 now. 10 years ago I was 10 years old, and I was like, you know what, I'll make a web series about video games. But I hope you guys enjoy it when they finally do come out. When they finally do come out, not if.
Don't worry, it will be awesome.
Yeah, and when they come out, I can adorn my grey wall with like posters and colourful things. Because I mean, this is a webcam interview, and there's nothing like there's a basket of clothes.
No,
That's cool.
if you see it's work for me. I have all my things behind me, so it's very embarrassing. Don't worry, man. I think I took a really sweet spot on you. Don't worry.
All right.
Hope to see that coming up. Now we talk about with some of your project. What do you have for your future? Do you have your future? Do you have more work with Dreamleague? You have another people that you want to watch with you, or what videos do you expect for the future?
For the near future, I'll be doing a lot of the only way to play guides, because I have a lot of builds that I just need people to be like, oh, of course, that makes so much sense, because like
the Weaver
builds, yeah, like the Weaver thing. The Weaver thing was probably the most controversial build that I'll have, which is saying something, because like most of my builds are like, what? This is crazy. What, you go carry Wyvern? What? But like a lot of my guides have, even if they're awful guides, they still have this sort of spark to make people think, oh, that's an interesting thought. Maybe this can go somewhere, and they'll like take it and run with it, So I have a lot of the only way to play guides to come. Every so often I'll release all random episodes, and currently I'm working with Dreamleague. That finishes on May, and then about June I'll be gone. I'll drop off the face of the earth for a really long time. And I'll come back without any fanfare or anything, and I'll just release a trailer for a movie that I've been working on, and hopefully people enjoy that. I'm just like I've had this all mapped out for a really long time, and I don't know why I'm doing it like this, but it's just the way it just makes the most sense in my warped mind. This is how I'll do it. So yeah, only way to plays, few all randoms, few one-off random episodes of things, and then a whole lot of nothing. Maybe you'll see me at TI6 if you go to TI6.
Hey, I wish.
And yeah.
Well, talking about TI, so talk about your experience at the TI5. Your experience in TI5. I saw a couple of your videos, but there was so little that I can watch about it. There was like 2, 3 videos about it. So and they cut off like in half.
Yeah. It was like just a fun little experiment. I've never done anything like real life. I don't despise or like abhor vlogs and all that, but I mean I don't really watch them. I don't watch anyone's vlogs really. But I thought, you know what, people are probably interested in this. I'll make some. And then I did, and they were like, wow, I really wish I hadn't seen this. And I was like, you know what? It's a good point. So I took all the footage and it's just on some folders, just hidden away. One day I'll release it and have people realize why I never released it in the first place. Because, but the few episodes that I did release were basically painted the storyline of me winning a golden ticket to TI. This was a tournament where I had a video that ended up winning like the community votes, and I got a ticket to TI and plane tickets paid for. This was like a major deal. It's the first time, I think it was the first time that something tangible had come from my videos, and it made everything real. And then I turned up at TI5, and these people are now real. These people that literally just existed as pictures and text on like Twitter and Reddit, and YouTube. These people are actually real. I could feel their faces and all that. It was, I don't know if surreal is the right word. Golden tickets, tangible, Yeah, I was. Surreal would be a good word to use, primarily just because of the fact that I got so little sleep during that whole thing. Not only was I jet lagged, I turned up and pretty much I did the first date blunder. You know, the first date blunder where you prepare everything, and as soon as one thing goes wrong, it's like, oh god, I didn't plan for this. So I had all these things. I brought a camera, like an actual high quality DSLR camera, and I was going to film interviews with it. I got a wireless microphone and all that, and just over the course of the first day and a bit, everything systematically broke one after the other. First thing was the microphone. The microphone was wireless and it was tuned to New Zealand, which is where I'd come from, right? So the microphone, I don't understand technology, but they have to be on the same frequency, right? The microphone and the receiver, the transmitter and the receiver, right? So it was set in New Zealand and everything was fine, and I put them in my suitcase and I took them to Seattle to the event, to TI5, and I took them out and I tried working them and they just weren't connecting. They weren't, and I was like, okay, this is weird and I don't know how to fix this. Why don't we just film, and maybe like when we hear it back through the video, the audio will be fine. And then we do that. We listen back after an interview, like a 5 to 10 minute interview with like actual content, like funny content that you can't force to come up again. It was just lost. All these funny jokes and quips that I had with, I think, Toby one, who was the first person I interviewed. It was just gone. And in place of what should have been picked up by like the transmitter, the microphone, was a local radio station. We picked up a local radio station, and it was static through the video, and then every now and again we'll hear like some top 40 hits from a radio station, and that's the interview. I have this saved, and it's just, I don't know why I haven't deleted it. I guess just for the story, just so I can be like, haha, here's some proof.
Well, you speak it only once, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, man. These kind of things happens. I mean, you cannot expect that everything goes as well as you want to be. But well, be prepared.
I should probably establish like this. This was so amazingly bizarre to me that it was funny in and of itself. It was hilarious that this happened to me, and I like the fact that it happened to me because it made the trip eventful, right? There's also the golden ticket debacle, which is another thing. I mean, we've been in this call for nearly an hour, but here's another hour added on right with this story. So I turn up, right? So the golden ticket, like to TI, because I'd won the golden ticket. The plane tickets were paid for and all that, and I get there, and I'm supposed to pick up my golden ticket from the person organizing it, whose name is Soylent. Soylent might just be the coolest person I know. Anyway, Soylent arrives, we meet up, and we're like, "Hey, Soylent, I'm Eric, I'm Edge," and he's like, "I know, we've talked like a lot before," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess we have," and he's like, I've got some news. I forgot your ticket. It's in Alaska. So, so Soylent is like, I can fix this, and fix it he did.
How?
Long story short, he called up some people, who called up some people, who called up some people, and it went so high up the ladder that Eric Johnson, a major deal in Valve, he's like one of the higher ups in Valve, like steps down from his podium, comes down and talks to us mere mortals, and he's like, "I hear you've got some trouble. How's it? I can't find a ticket for you. Do you want this one?" and he gives me it. This is a ticket. This is a player ticket. It was just around his neck. He was like, "Here, take this. I have mine. This was for someone else." So this gets me into ground, VIP, and floor, and like, I can play it off to people like the security and all. Not that I did or anything, but like, if I was, conniving and all that, I could pretend like I was a player, and because I have the player badge, and I could end up just being on the stage. Well, not on the stage. I'd get like, people would stop me before that far, but I could go down onto the floor and be like, "Hey, I'm a player."
Do you meet any pro players then with that ticket? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I did. I met a lot of casters. A lot of people like who were friends of friends, in a way. But like, I feel like the one thing that you should do if this ever happens is don't idolize these people. Just treat them as normal people, and they treat me like a normal person too. They were just like, "Hey, that's cool. You got a player badge somehow. Neat." And yeah, I talked to these people, and some of them turned out to be like actual good friends. I have them on Steam, and I talk to them every now and again. But this ticket, we found out through just like the most random circumstances, came from Loda. Loda, Loda. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but he's like I think he plays a bit of Dota. And he just turned up late on the day, and Eric Johnson was looking for him, and he was like, this was Loda's ticket, but you can have it because we can't find Loda." Speaking of which, have you seen Loda recently? To which me and the people I was with, my friends, reply, yes, we did see Loda. We came across Loda earlier going that way. My friend said he was his favorite player, and Loda said thank you to him. My other friend said I really like Alliance, and Loda said thank you to him. And I said you are my third most favorite because I didn't want to lie to him. He'll know. Like, I don't think I'd be able to sell like, "Oh, you're my favorite player," because he'd know deep down. He's like, "You're just saying that, aren't you?" So I was honest, and I was like, "You're my third favorite player," and he said to me, "Good. I like your honesty." And just somehow I also ended up with this, the golden tickets, which is literally gold colored. Yeah, my life's usually not that eventful.
Well, that time, I guess, He
At
was the
times,
most
just
joyful.
things just happen to line up in the right way to just right in the goal.
No. Well, think we're done. Actually, we're done. Yeah. Do you have any shoutouts, or do you want to say anything to your fans, or do you want any final thoughts about it?
Whew. There's a lot of power you're giving me right here. Can I make a shout out to a girl named Tiffany? I don't know any girls named Tiffany, but if you're named Tiffany, you should feel special. That's it.
Anything else? No more? Alright. Well, thank you guys for seeing it. This is EDJE. The funny videos he makes. You can find it at Erik Wright. Just subscribe if you want and follow him at Cutting Edge. Thank you for viewing. See you soon. Thank you all for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe or leave a thumbs up. And if you'd like me to interview another person, please leave the name in the comments. I will try to make it happen. Thank you all. Good night.